Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to write a powerful 5-sentence cover letter, a cover letter that'll get you the job interview. What I'll do first, though, is I'll tell you what makes a powerful cover letter. I'll tell you about the elements, things that you really do want to make sure your cover letter includes. And then what I'm going to do at the very end is I'm going to give you an example. I'll show you a cover letter that I use, a cover letter that I know opens the door to job interviews. And that, my friends, that's all up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, before the break, I said I'll tell you how to write a powerful 5-sentence cover letter that'll get you the job interview. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Over 50 TV. I'm also going to ask you, though, to consider subscribing to my brand new YouTube channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. If your next big career move is launching a business, you're going to want to subscribe to that channel. That's where I tell you how you can grow a side hustle. I'm going to put a link to that channel in the description box. So now let's get to our video. Let's talk about how to write a powerful 5-sentence cover letter that'll get you the job interview. You know, I learned a lot about the hiring process after speaking to literally hundreds of business owners and hiring managers when I ran a chain of business-to-business magazines, and I also ran a weekly newspaper. I also know firsthand about the hiring process because myself, I've hired hundreds of people and I've interviewed at least 10 times that many. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what I know, what I've learned about writing great cover letters that are going to grab that busy hiring manager's attention. Before you sit down to write a cover letter, I want you to consider something. Consider the other person. Consider that hiring manager. Consider the whole process that you're going to be going through when you submit your cover letter and your resume. Now, if there's anything that I learned about asking someone to do something for you, it's you got to think about what their needs are, what they're looking for. You know, I read an advertising book a long time ago by a guy named David Ogilvy, and one of the things he said is it's so imperative to understand your client and understand them thoroughly. So even though the hiring manager is not your client, it's still critical to understand them. And it's critical to understand that your cover letter and your resume is most likely going to go through an applicant tracking system before it ever lands on that hiring manager's desk or in their inbox. Now, the applicant tracking system, or what they call an ATS, is simply software that most resumes get filtered through. And they get filtered through to determine if the application is a strong candidate for the job. Now, the applicant tracking system, what it does is it looks for keywords. It looks for keywords in your resume that match the keywords in their job posting. And if they don't see those keywords, if they don't match, right, they're going to pass you by. So whenever I write a cover letter for a client or when I offer up resume writing tips to somebody that I know, I make it a point to tell them to use or to look at the keywords from the job posting. And I recommend that you do that too. Now, I know that most resume writing experts, they're going to tell you, they're going to stress the importance of including keywords in your resume. And yes, that's very important. But I also include keywords in the cover letter because if your cover letter doesn't get through that ATS, it doesn't matter if you're the best candidate for the job. Now, we've been talking about the ATS, the applicant tracking system, but let's talk about the hiring manager because it's also very important to understand that hiring manager. You want to understand not only what they're looking for, but what they do. That person, that hiring manager, is usually sitting there looking at hundreds and hundreds of cover letters and resumes, and after a while, I will tell you this, from experience, one cover letter looks the same as the hundreds or thousands of other cover letters that came before it. So if you understand their plight, and I mean that literally, their plight, then you'll understand why it's important to craft a compelling cover letter that quickly gets to the point. Now, recently I ordered templates, 5 templates to be exact. They were templates of cover letters, and these templates were from some highly regarded CRM company who decided for some reason they were going to publish free templates, I guess to help job seekers, and God bless them. But you know what? I found these templates were just too long, and they were boring. They gave so much information that's going to be be inside the resume. And I'll guarantee you this, I know no hiring manager that's going to get to the bottom. So let me say this again. A great cover letter, it should be compelling, clear, and concise. And there's also data that shows an effective cover letter's length is between 400 to 650 words. I recently watched a YouTube video from a career coach who I happen to respect. I have a great respect for this gentleman. Now, I do respect him because the guy knows his stuff, and basically what he says is what I've been saying here, that hiring managers are busy people, so your cover letter should get to the point. He also says that you can say everything that you need to say in around 4 sentences, and I do agree with him for all the same reasons that I've been talking about here that I've outlined. Although I will say that my cover letters are usually around 5 to 6 sentences. So yeah, your cover letter, it should get to the point, and it should tell that hiring manager why you are contacting them and why you're a strong candidate for the job opening. So now let me give you a cover letter, a cover letter that I just wrote for one of my clients, and he's a sales manager in the food industry. Dear sir, I'm ready to apply for the opening Acme company has for a regional sales manager. Simple and sweet. That is your first sentence. Second sentence is this, and again, I'm going to use this gentleman that I just worked with. I offer 30 years of success as a regional sales manager in the food industry, which makes me an ideal candidate for this opening. Sentence number 3, and I'm going to borrow verbiage from the excellent career coach that I mentioned previously. I think he really knows his stuff, and he writes this in a cover letter. He says, the career highlights section of my attached resume summarizes 4 to 5 significant accomplishments that are also in alignment with your opening. And I think he's perfect right on. I like what he says. But I want to say something. While I say that I borrowed this sentence from this career coach, neither he nor I are originators of this idea. In the advertising world that I come from, this stuff is really standard or even common practice. You know, every online ad, every television commercial or print ad follows a tried and true format. I'll give you a little bit of information and tell you where to get more. But the thing that's important is that they know viewers have a short attention span, so they get to the point. In the next sentence, I recommend that you say this. I look forward to the opportunity to speak with you about my skills and experience if you feel I'm a strong candidate for this position. Short and sweet and to the point. Now, you can close, and I recommend that you close by simply saying this. Thank you in advance for considering me. Sincerely, Lou Reyes. That's it. Nothing more. You have nothing else to say. You've written a compelling, clear, and concise cover letter that you can have confidence in. And this cover letter, it certainly has a better chance of being read than some of those long, drawn-out, boring cover letters that I mentioned previously. If you'd like a copy of this cover letter, what I'll do is I'll include a link in the description box so you can get your free copy. And if you're curious and you want to learn about powerful and effective copywriting, well, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to David Ogilvy's book, Ogilvy on Advertising. I'll put that link in the description box. And I got to tell you, this book, it's my Bible. I've used this book at least 1,000,000 times in my career whenever I decided I was going to sit down and write some copy. And if I had a question, I referred to this book. Well, that's all I got for you today, folks. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you do have any questions, have any comments, please go ahead and put them in the comment box. You can also, as I always say, you can send me an email. I do answer emails as quickly as possible. I also pretty much do answer every single comment myself. I don't farm that out to anyone, so I do look forward to reading comments. Now, I did say or ask you to consider subscribing to Over 50 TV, and I did mention my new YouTube channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. I created that channel to help people who are thinking or who want to start a side business or a side hustle. And I know that from all the comments and the questions that I get on this YouTube channel, channel from people who are interested in starting a business. I know that this new YouTube channel that I created, I believe it can be a big help to you. So that's all I got for you today. Again, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.